drama comes to Sheffield, but don't adjust your set. It's not Strictly Come Dancing. We're here for the hard reality of international boxing, and our two main fights tonight are both England versus Brazil. Top of the bill is Sheffield's own Kid Galahad, going for a fourth different title in 4 consecutive fights, and he's desperate to prove his world-class credentials. Adeilson is also in action this evening, the rising star from Sheffield, an all-action fighter who can definitely punch. The proof, 13 knockouts in 16 fights. So here's tonight's lineup for you then. Kid Galahad going for the IBF World Youth Junior Featherweight title against Adeilson dos Santos, the unbeaten Brazilian #1. And supported by Adeilson against Santos Barbosa for the vacant IBF International Middleweight belt. Will the England lads silence that Brazilian samba? And our thanks to the ladies from Yes Brazil. Good evening, welcome to Ponds Forge in Sheffield for our night of boxing. Good evening to Richie Woodle as well, former champion at super middleweight level. Just how big a night is this for Kid Galahad then, Richie?
It's massive. Not only does he have to win tonight, he has to win in style, to be quite honest, because the super bantamweight division in this country is probably the most exciting at the moment. He's got to get into the top 10 rankings, so a good win tonight, he would be heading that way.
As Richie says, he knows only too well, Kid Galahad, that 2 of his British rivals are right up there with the very best in the world. Scott Quigg, of course, who won the WBA title last Saturday, and a week before that, Carl Frampton winning the IBF version in his home city of Belfast as well. So that's who Kid Galahad has to try and chase when it comes to this division. We should say super bantamweight equals junior featherweight in US terms. It might be a little bit confusing for people at home, but with those 2 in front of him, he knows what he has to do in terms of these rankings, doesn't he?
He certainly does, but Kid Galahad is a bit like a dark horse on the rails that no one's really taking any notice of, but now he's starting to creep up, he's starting to win titles, and he's got those 2 in his sights, so he's got it all to do, but he's got a lot of talent and he can do it.
And from what you've seen from him, from the fights that we've seen him fight here on Channel 5, how impressed have you been with him?
I've been very impressed. I thought he's had a great fight against Jazza Dickens for the British title. Each time it's got harder, he's stepped up a gear, he's got power, he's got lovely boxing skills. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. And if you look at him here again, this is the fight against Jazza Dickens. This was probably his hardest fight, but he was losing going into the 10th round, but then he found the quality and he found the power. And this was a cracking fight, it really was. But this left hand coming up here in a minute that really finishes Dickens off. But it was a brave display from both boxers. But Kid Galahad found the shot, and there it was there, super punch. Just a different angle mark, look at that. Pete, punch perfect. And again there, super.
So this is what we've seen from Kid Galahad, 3 titles already, including the European title. So why is he not further up these rankings then, Richie?
Well, it's probably because he hasn't really boxed anyone in the top 10. But against Prado in this European title fight, this was a real tough challenge. It went 12 rounds, so it showed that he's got also the durability. And he just had too much for this fella. But this guy, this Spanish fella, Prado, he was there till the end. And there, Kid Galahad's hands raised. And then came the next title against Fred Mundrabi from Australia, the Australian champion. It was all one-way traffic. Mundrabi clearly out of his league, but going into this contest, he'd only lost 1 in about 17 contests, so he wasn't too bad. But here, Galahad, we just had too much for him. Too much variation, too much power, and really did a professional job on him.
So tonight he should have been, as we see him winning this against the Australian, he should have been fighting Tyson Cave, shouldn't he? Who, had he fought tonight and had he beaten, that would have really given him a leg up the rankings, wouldn't it?
That would have been a terrific contest, because against Tyson Cave is ranked number 5 in the WBA rankings, so he really wanted to box Cave, beat Cave, and that then would put him into the top 10. It hasn't happened, and sometimes it can be a banana skin when you're boxing someone you don't know a lot about, but he's just got to do a professional job and just keep going.
But you're fully confident he'll win this evening, despite the fact a little bit of an unknown factor with this fighter coming in at what, about 3 weeks' notice?
I still think he'll win the fight, but at the same time, he's in against someone who's been boxing at feather, and he's knocked guys out at feather as well, so he's a strong opponent. And what Kid Galahad has got to do tonight, he's got to box very sensibly in the first couple of rounds. Take a look at this guy, because this fella has knocked guys out at featherweight and at super feather, so he's got a mean punch about him. So what Kid Galahad has got to work behind that jab early on.
So the fact that he's knocked people out at featherweight is a bit of a dangerous factor, isn't it?
Let's go back to 2008, Amir Khan against Breeders' Prescott. Khan was undefeated, and so was Prescott, and Prescott knocked him out. It can happen. It shouldn't, and I don't think it will, but there's always that possibility.
And we hope that Kell Brook's going to be here this evening as well, so a chance for Sheffield to celebrate the achievements of one of their own recently, winning that world title in the States.
Fantastic. It really was a tremendous win against, there he is there, against an undefeated world American champion in Sean Porter. Went over there, did a great job. Terrific athlete and a terrific boxer, and another famous boxing son from Sheffield. And
there have been so many of them, and that's what Kid Galahad wants to join that roll of honour. Right, the scene is set then for Kid Galahad this evening here in Sheffield at Ponds Forge. Is this the night that he really registers his intentions with a world youth title win? We'll see you in a few moments. We're at Ponds Forge in Sheffield for Kid Galahad against Adeilson dos Santos from Brazil for the IBF World Youth Junior Featherweight title. Your commentators Dave Farrer and Richie Woodall, after we've heard from the MC Thomas Treiber, who has a special introduction to make.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's welcome the new IBF welterweight champion of the world from right here, Sheffield, England, Kell, the Special One Brook.
And they stand at the Ponds Forge for Kell Brook, joined a distinguished list of Ingle World Champions, Hamed Nelson Witter, and now Kell Brook, and it's great to see him here, smiling and looking so well, and great things surely around the corner for Sheffield's very own.
And now let's welcome to the ring, representing Brazil, Adeilson dos Santos.
Adeilson dos Santos has a huge chance here, a late replacement for Tyson Cave, and the intriguing thing is that we don't know much about him. 14 wins in 14 fights. He's fought at a higher weight as well. We know he's got a destructive knockout punch. We just don't know what level he can reach. Is he ready for Kid Galahad? The fascinating thing is, he might be.
Yes, he might be, Dave. He's come here wanting to win against Galahad, and this guy can punch. He's undefeated. Always that question mark over an undefeated boxer, and he's got 10 knockouts as well, so he's dangerous.
And now let's welcome to the ring, representing the United Kingdom, Kid Galahad. Bright lights say they're gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so
He always comes in to the Elvis music. He's named after a character in an Elvis film, and he's got the same snake hips, the same superstar quality. Kid Galahad is the forgotten man of this division in this country, but that won't be the case for long if he keeps impressing in the ring.
He's won 3 titles, Dave, in his last 3 contests. Just keeps going on and on. Gets better and better. His movement, his technique is improving all the time. He comes from a great stable and gym in the Ingalls. He's one to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to a night of championship boxing here on Channel 5. And we welcome those of you joining us around the world on Sport TV and Fight Network. We get the action started with 12 rounds of boxing, and it will be for the vacant IBF Youth World Junior Featherweight Championship. Brought to you by Hennessy Sports, along with their great sponsors, Maxi Nutrition, iFilm London, Modeling Network, and Sheffield Star. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Alistair Hayes. Timekeeper is Colin Roberts. Along with the International Boxing Federation, President is Daryl Peoples. Supervising tonight is Roberto Rea of Italy. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Serge Hendrisse of Belgium, Dave Paris of England, and Francesco Rega of Italy. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, the 3rd man in the ring, will be Howard Foster of England. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Ponds Forge in Sheffield, England, this is our main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black with silver and weighed in at 8 stone, 9 pounds, 5 ounces, or 121 pounds. He brings an undefeated record of 14 wins. 10 of his 14 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the current WBO Latino Super Bantamweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Sao Paulo, Brazil, presentando Adeilson dos Santos. And his opponent across the ring in this 12-round main event, he is fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing green with gold and weighed in at 8 stone, 9 pounds, 8 ounces, or 121 pounds. Hailing from right here, Steel City, Sheffield, England. He is undefeated with 17 wins. 9 of his 17 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the current European and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Champion, Kid Galahad.
Fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. We both know I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told, and both of you, watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch loads. Good luck, lads.
Final instructions then from our referee, Howard Foster. Is this going to be another step, a big step in the right direction for Kid Galahad? Or can this tough Brazilian move up a level and shock the man from Sheffield? It's going to be fun finding out, I suspect.
You may find, Dave, you just have a look at him in this opening round, just test his power. Galahad will just work with the jab. Just see what his opponent's got here. He's got to box with caution against the guy who's naturally bigger, and he carries a fair dig also. So a bit of cautious work in this opening round is needed for Galahad.
And in terms of the career trajectory, with so many exciting things happening in this division, This is not a time to blow it. It's not a time to have an off night. And it's a good, sharp start from Kid Galahad, who was inspired by being in Kell Brook's corner in that terrific performance against Sean Porter. And his great friend Kell Brook very much here with him tonight as well.
Galahad just switching to southpaw, leading with that right hand. Just trying to confuse his opponents here, but he's also working well to the body. Good straight left there. Against the taller man, it's always a good option, working downstairs.
Well, the 4 words that Kid Galahad always uses to describe a perfect performance: timing, distance, coordination and rhythm. And they're all in evidence here so far. That was a good combination from Galahad, and Brazilian Adeilson dos Santos just trying to respond, but a little left to the body as well from Galahad. Switching the shots well. Speed of his work is really something.
Working well behind the jab and closing that gap down nice and quickly is Galahad. Santos doesn't seem to be able to work on the inside just yet, just covering up. There's some good work from Galahad downstairs.
I think already signs that Santos is surprised by the speed of Kid Galahad. There's a general feeling in the Ingle camp that not many people realise how good Kid Galahad is. Maybe that's true of his opponent here tonight. He's finding out though, although little right hand, but good left in response. Sharp shot from Kid Galahad. Now it's Adeilson dos Santos trying to get that jab working. Can't throw those single jabs though. Need to be followed up just like this from the man from Sheffield, chopping right to the body.
I think Santos is just a little bit surprised how quickly Galahad actually gets into that inside position, closes that gap down. He doesn't respond too quickly, the Brazilian. And this is a good opening round so far for Galahad.
Really good opening round. Galahad on top here, certainly. Oh, and he's down at the end of the round. 3, 4, 5, 6. Is he going to get up here, Adeilson dos Santos? Yep. And to his corner he goes. Great shot, Galahad.
Super punch day, wasn't it? Right hand over the top. Just a switch off in concentration by Santos. Let's have a look at it here. Oh, it's a super punch because he actually feinted to the body with the jab and then look, that little feint there with the left hand, and then he brings the right hand over the top. Super move. Right at the end. That little, just a little glance of that left hand to the body and then whips the right hand over. Great power.
Just looking at Adeilson dos Santos in his corner. Eyes blinking. Gets to his feet steadily enough, but what a finish to that opening round here. Galahad not rushing in, but again the Brazilian off balance. And that's what this fella does to you.
Santos now has actually switched to southpaw himself. Look, retreating there, his feet are coming together, he's making mistakes. Look how he's going square on the ropes, taking big risks here, Santos.
He's not much of a moving target at the moment. Galahad has him right where he wants him. A couple of left hooks followed by a right hand.
This is where you've got to keep your work steady though, Dave. Remember, this guy is a big puncher in front of him. He's just got to take his time, be nice and accurate with his work, which that's what's happening.
And he might be looking to time a right hand as Galahad throws, but he's had no chance to so far. He might have power, but no way of using it. Right to the body, followed by the left uppercut. I think Adeilson dos Santos is still surprised by the ferocity of the punch at the end of the first round. It takes a while to recover from that. Left uppercut there as they broke, and then a chopping right from Galahad.
Galahad is really fancying this job as early as this second round, Dave, here, working well to the body. and then he switches the attack. And that's the problem that Santos has got, dealing with the body shots, and then the fast right hand comes over the top. His left hook is also coming into play. So Santos has got real problems here.
Left there from Galahad, but threw it when he was slightly off balance, and then wasn't off balance when he threw that one. Punishing work here from Kid Galahad. Now Howard Foster wants a word here. They're just telling him not to pull the head of the Brazilian down. Again makes Dos Santos miss. Left hand from Dos Santos just snaked through the guard there of Galahad. And then a left uppercut every time the Brazilian throws anything. It's responded to, and it's responded to with double the force.
Probably just going to move to his left a little bit more here, Galahad, when Santos is a southpaw. He's trying to get through the left hand, but again, it's a strong to finish to the round for Galahad.
So Kid Galahad in control of this. He's already had Adeilson Dos Santos down right at the end of round one and dominated the second round. Brazilian already, you feel, has to turn the tide of this one to have any chance. Needs to do something to discourage Kid Galahad, and he hasn't managed that so far.
Interestingly, Santos again coming out as a southpaw, but he is an orthodox boxer. Just trying to confuse, I think, Galahad.
Trying anything, I think. Not really working so far.
You see, Davies closing that gap nice and quick, isn't he? And he's accurate with his work, is Galahad. And that's the problem Santos has got. He's not punching on the inside. He's allowing Galahad to close the gap down. Look at this again.
And he connected with the left and then followed it up. And that's what those quick feet allow him to do. It's always flurries of punches from Galahad, never just single shots. Already you sense Adeilson Dos Santos just a little slower on his feet. And those milliseconds matter at this level. The left jab followed by the straight right there from Galahad. Then he goes to the body.
It was a great jab there from Galahad. Straight, sharp, sweet punch, and then he switches downstairs.
No. Stop boxing. Listen, I'm holding. Box on.
Not sure how Howard Foster's Portuguese is, but it was the international sign language to tell him to stop holding. He's in trouble again. Needs to get out of that corner, Adeilson Dos Santos. Oh, it's a left hand that got through. Crack back the head, then a right to the body. The punches are from every kind of angle from Kid Galahad. Dos Santos trying to fight back here.
Galahad going through the gears here now. Coming forward. The head movement's good. Finding the shots on the inside. That's what's so impressive about that little attack there from Galahad. And still avoiding what's coming back at him.
Final 30 seconds of the third round here. Galahad well on top. Against an opponent who may just not have an answer, but remember, he's got bite in that right hand, if he could connect with it.
It was a good round for Galahad. Gone through the gears, but also showing good variation. Excellent round.
Dominic Ingle giving Kid Galahad advice in the corner as he waits to come out for round 4. I'm sure he's telling him that he's on top, but he needs to keep his concentration.
Round 4.
Kid Galahad feels that he's undervalued and underrated and needs to work harder than anyone to make himself a mandatory challenger, to get himself a shot at a world title. Already that European title he won against Sergio Prado, but he wants bigger things. Right hand there as Dos Santos tried to get within range and throw the right hand that really destroyed Marcos Gabriel Martinez last September in Argentina. This is an opponent that's harder to hit.
Santos is just failing to keep his man at bay here. You have to give Galahad credit for closing that gap down the way he is and the way he's finding the target. Santos should be working more with the jab, but it's not strong enough, it's not accurate enough, and he just can't stop his man coming forward.
Again, the balance of Galahad throwing Adeilson Dos Santos off balance. Quiet around here so far from the man from Sheffield. He exploded at the end of the first. Again, little talking to from Howard Foster, telling him to watch use of the shoulder.
I think Galahad is really beginning to boss his opponent around now. Working well on the inside, pushing his man back. There's not a lot coming back from Santos. We still know that he's got power, but nothing really have we seen from him that would suggest he could find that knockout punch.
Must feel a long, long way from Sao Paulo at the moment.
And Galahad now, he's just breaking him down, Dave, downstairs especially. He's tiring his man out, hitting him to the body, and then it's the switch of attack to the head that causes all sorts of problems. The bodywork, very impressive indeed from Galahad.
There's a slap there from Dos Santos. Certainly not having any impact anyway. Little left got through there from Galahad, and he sensed success as well. Final 20 seconds here of round 4.
Clever little shot there to the body, that left hand and the right hand upstairs. But with the left to the body, he just moves out of the way with the shoulder, keeps his distance and has another look. Thinking about his work here, Galahad.
So Kid Galahad certainly on top here. Is there a way back here for Dos Santos, Richie?
There doesn't look like there's a way back for Santos. His punches just haven't got the power and the accuracy.
I mean, you never know in boxing, but it feels unlikely, doesn't it? It's been so impressive again. Richie said beforehand that Kid Galahad needed to win and win well to make a statement. He's doing that at the moment. Down against Jason Booth. Man, he said, gave him the hardest fight of his career. In trouble against Jazza Dickens as well. Stung briefly by Isaac Netty. But in general, he's danced his way out of trouble throughout his career. Left hand there from Dos Santos gives him a little bit of encouragement.
It's a little bit better from Santos because he's coming forward. Most of the fight he's been on that back foot. He's been pushed back from Galahad. Going forward, having some success now, Santos.
Little bit of encouragement, but then a clean left hand there from Galahad, although he threw it slightly off balance, didn't have the power it might have done. The right that followed was better.
See Santos, because he's not a natural southpaw, his feet just keep coming square all the time, and that's when he's open to that straight right hand down the middle. That's how he just got caught in that corner.
Just those dazzling flurries of punches from Kid Galahad as well. It's blinding speed at times.
The problem Santos has got here, Dave, well, one of the main problems, his feet are far too slow. He's just allowing Galahad to move in and out, side to side. Lovely left hand there from Galahad. Santos has got to quicken his feet up, put a bit more pressure on. He had a bit of success at the start of the round. Maybe that's what he should try and do. His feet are too slow.
Yeah, aside from that, though, any success has been limited.
Don't pull down, don't pull down. Come on, Phil.
Again, he's
Don't pull down.
warning Kid Galahad not to pull down Howard Foster. Making himself hard to hit, using those feet. Final 30 seconds now of round 5. That's good work again from Galahad. Again, the legs of Santos just a little heavy there.
A good combination work there from Galahad. I'd like to see more of that.
Well, can this Brazilian Adeilson dos Santos find something as we head to the halfway point of this fight? 12 rounds it's scheduled for. But Kid Galahad utterly dominant. Certainly a 10-8 opening round, and it's hard to make a case for the Brazilian winning or sharing any of the subsequent rounds.
They've both been the 12-round distance, haven't they? Santos has been 12 rounds once and Galahad twice, so they know what it's like to go over the 12 rounds. Santos starting this round a little bit better on that front foot. And he's just got to quicken things up a little bit and probably put Galahad under a little bit more pressure.
He threw that right there, but it felt a bit more like a slap than a real punch. Again, that's hurtful work from Galahad. And even when Dos Santos goes to try and hunt him down, he throws a punch and then Kid Galahad's not there. Many people have found that against him, certainly.
Santos just isn't quick enough on the inside, and his reactions aren't quick enough, especially when he's breaking away from an attack. That's when he seems to be open. Galahad has sussed that out. He moves in quickly and then he'll hit him as he's breaking away. And Santos just does not react quick enough.
Again, just off balance, the left hand knocked him sideways.
Step back, come on. Put some elbows in close. Box on.
He's not afraid to mix it up when he needs to, Kid Galahad. Goodness me, Dos Santos threw a huge right there, didn't he, as Galahad came in, but missed by a fair distance.
No, come on.
But that's been the difference here, Dave, the accuracy in the work from Galahad compared to Santos. He's in another league. Santos throwing shots, but not a lot is getting home. There's no real speed and accuracy there. Super shot on the inside, that little left uppercut.
Yeah, some really spiteful shots from Kid Galahad, and you just have to feel the accumulated work here is going to take its toll eventually.
I think if Santos boxed at range more, he may have some success, but he's just allowing Galahad on the inside far too often. And he doesn't work well on the inside, this tall Brazilian.
Well, he's there to be hit towards the end of this round 6, and the crowd chanting his name, Barry. His real name, if you like, Barry Awad, known as Kid Galahad in the ring, and he's turning on the style. Well, it's got to be getting harder for Adeilson dos Santos. Does he look discouraged? Maybe not. Started the previous round on his toes and trying to be sprightly. Just couldn't find a way in. Remember, unbeaten, 14 wins in 14 fights. Much made of that, but he hadn't boxed at this level, and he's finding out all about this level now.
It'd be nice to see Galahad just go through those gears a couple of times here, put this guy under a little bit more pressure with the shots, and try and force a stoppage. I think there's been a couple of times when he's looked a little bit tired, the Brazilian, and maybe should be pushed that little bit more now.
No, you talked about him needing to win and win impressively. Now's the time to do the impressive bit, isn't it? As Dos Santos comes forward and offers a threat for just about the first time in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a punch-perfect display for Galahad up to now. So for him to end on a stoppage, then I think that would be an impressive statement. Remember, this fella's ranked in the WBO featherweight rankings. He's around 13, 14, and he's boxed most of his career in heavier divisions. That's what makes him a dangerous opponent.
Just wonder if Galahad has taken his foot off the gas a little bit here. Maybe trying to cruise his way to a win. It's a dangerous thing to do if he is.
I think he's just controlling the pace here, Dave, by staying on the outside, taking the odd backward step. He can see the attacks coming. He's in his comfort zone here, Galahad.
Again, mixing it up. Good right hand to the body.
And again, controlling the pace, Galahad.
Break, step back. Step back. Step back. Don't hold, come on. Galahad, get up him. Break, step back. Oh, step back, come on. Box on.
Again, another round that Kid Galahad is certainly going to win. Maybe less convincing than previously, but he's in cruise control right now.
He just gets cool with the shot there. You just got to keep the concentration going here. That's a better shot. Lovely punch there. You can't afford to switch off in this game. But again, a good finish to the round for Galahad.
And he's done that consistently, and the legs sagged again there.
Ten seconds, corners.
Well, they have produced some really good fighters over the years, Brazil. Eder Joffre notably, probably their greatest ever world champion. Many of you will remember Acelino Freitas, that fantastic power puncher. Haven't got anyone in any top 10 at the moment. Got a prospect called Yamaguchi Falcao. You might remember him from London 2012. He got a bronze at light heavyweight. He's with Golden Boy right now. Well, Sheffield's Golden Boy is dominating another Brazilian in Adeilson dos Santos. Is that a slip? Just tried to move away there, Galahad.
Don't pull down, don't pull down.
Let's be careful not to allow Dos Santos back into this fight. Give him even a glimmer of light here, Richie.
So occasionally you see Santos come forward, and that's when he has a little bit of success. Look, behind that jab there on that front foot, that's not too bad. But his problem is he then just slows down, and he allows then Galahad to think about what he's doing. Look, it's easy for Galahad to stay on the outside and see the attacks coming. Just has to adjust his feet. He's got faster reactions And that's a trademark, isn't it, from the Ingle gym?
Yeah, it's a style that served many well and will continue to. Again, Galahad just trying to pile on the pressure. Combinations bouncing off the head of Adeilson dos Santos, and he gets behind that left jab again.
This is where I'd like to see Galahad just step it up a little bit. Santos now on that back foot. He's weakening him downstairs and again look to the body, and then he switches. Just like to see him go through those gears a little bit more.
Well, he's certainly got the gears. Really interesting thing watching his career is where are they going to take him? Will it be all the way to the very top? He's on the road.
That was a super punch there on the inside. That little right uppercut. Yeah, that hurt Santos. That was a great shot, really was.
Again, just the left to the body, then to the head. Dos Santos looking pretty discouraged now as we move to the end of round 8. Again, a really good left there from Galahad, and again Dos Santos on the back foot. That chopping right just glanced him. I think if it had caught him, he'd have been down again.
Yeah, he's got an inbuilt clock, hasn't he, Galahad? He seems to finish strong the last 30 seconds of the round. He really turns it on.
Miles ahead. It's really interesting listening to Dominic Ingle in the corner. We'll just take a look at this, Richie.
Yeah, that was the best shot of the round for me. Sneaky little right uppercut on the inside. Super punch.
Seconds out. Round 8.
He just said to Kid, don't keep saving it up for the last 30 seconds of the round. And exactly what you've been saying. You can hurt him consistently. And that's what he needs to keep doing. And there's your scorecard, Richie. No great surprises. You've got him a million miles ahead.
Yep, he's well ahead here. But, you know, there's still a few rounds to go, Dave. So he's just got to keep the concentration level very high and finish strong.
Oh, yeah, if you switch off, this sport can catch you out. It can all turn to dust very, very quickly. If you ever need to remember an example of that, just remember, in a different circumstance, in a different country, another Ingle fighter, Harold Graham.
What a fighter he was, Bomber Graham. I sparred him a few times. Oh, the first 6 or 7 rounds of the spar, I couldn't lay a glove on him. He was just tremendous, fantastic fighter.
Yeah, arguably best ever not to win a world title. Kid Galahad wants that dream, and he wants it to come true. When you read that list of Ingle World Champions, the 4 of them, and Kid wants to make it 5, I always have to do a double take that one of them's not Graham. Forward comes Adeilson dos Santos again. Kid Galahad just his right glove up onto the ropes and being told to stop clowning around. I think the Brazilian senses he needs something dramatic here, and he'd be right.
Galahad just inviting Santos into the corner just above us. A bit dangerous, but that just shows his confidence. He's got to keep his wits about him here against this guy.
Yeah, you don't want to get overconfident. I'm not suggesting he is being, but something always to be wary of. And he's comfortably in control, isn't he? Just staying out of trouble. Good right hand there as Dos Santos walked in. And of course, as he takes risks and tries to do something special to turn this round, he becomes more of a target.
Last 30 seconds or so. Dave again, and he starts to turn it on. Definite pattern there, working well to the body here. I think he's hurt his opponent a couple of times in this round. But Santos, let's give him credit. He's a tough cookie, keeps coming.
Yeah, it's a big chance for him, and he's not going to just lie down. Still has hope here, but it's fading fast. So Kid Galahad is on top. Adeilson dos Santos desperately needs a knockout here. It would be something of a miracle. But the Sheffield man needs to keep his wits about him, and of course the questions after this fight: should he win it? Where will he go next? How far is he from a world title shot? Remember, you got Scott Quigg, you've got Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz is the name that always hoves into view. And then there's that super champion, the man no one wants to fight, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Not sure he can do that. Kid Galahad with the quick feet and the right hand, and Dos Santos is down.
What a great shot that was, Dave. You don't get many better timed right hands than that. Back on the ropes, brought him onto the shot. Power, precise, accuracy. That shot had everything.
The crowd on their feet, baying for the finish, and they might just get it here. Left there from Galahad. Second time he's been down, Dos Santos. Little right to the body, then a combination to the head. Howard Foster's having a look here, but he's still fighting back at Adeilson dos Santos. Really good left jab there, found its way through the guard. He always takes a step back to have a look.
Yeah, to have a look. Just got to stay composed now and pick his shots. But everything's getting through. He's still not recovered, Santos.
No, he's in trouble now. That straight left rocked him. And a look to his corner as well there.
Body language is not good from Santos. This is Kid Galahad's chance now to finish this guy off.
End is nigh, I think. Right hook.
Oh, brilliant corner work there, John Ingle. You can hear him saying, keep flicking the jabbing Barry.
Good left hand again there, found its way through. I tell you what, he's tough. He's really tough, Adeilson dos Santos.
Yeah, he's just recovered, hasn't he? But then walks onto another right hand there. Keeps looking at his corner.
And they are not good signs. We'll be having a good look at his stool at the end of this round. If we get to the end of this round, it's another good shot. Again, he rocks. But he still comes forward, Dos Santos.
Whether he's looking at his corner, Dave, expecting that the towel to come in, I don't know, but not good signs from Santos. He's trying to cover up, but it's the accuracy from Galahad.
Well, all the Samba style is coming now from Kid Galahad. Quick movement, super skill. At times, it's just like watching Brazil. Again, he's got his range. And I'm going to have a good look at the corner in between rounds, Richie, while you analyse it, because I'm not sure he's going to come out for the 11th here.
Not good signs at all, were they, from Santos there? Keeps looking at his corner during the contest. Got caught with a couple of big shots. But that right hand on the ropes. Let's have a look here. Look, back on the ropes. Bring him onto it. Bring him onto it. Bang! There it is. Super, super punch. Well set up as part of the plan. Look, going back and then peach of a shot. Best punch of the contest so far.
Well, Howard Foster has just gone over, sorry Richie, to that Brazilian corner and said, are you okay? He's had a conversation with them. I'm afraid my Portuguese isn't up to it, but they asked him a question to which he nodded his head.
All right. Spit.
10 seconds, corners.
He's up again.
Keep it smart, Barry. No mistakes.
Seconds out.
You can hear the voice then of Dominic Ingalls saying, keep it smart, Barry, no mistakes. Quite right. He's nearly there, Kid Galahad.
We heard in the corner also, Dave, from Dominic Ingle, he said that you're breaking his heart, and that's what he's done here. He's literally broke this fella down, worked well to the body. He just had too much for him. He's just got to get over the line now and force this stoppage, because he's ready to go now, this guy.
It feels like he is. He's a little unsteady. Again, he just sagged onto the ropes there. Combination, but the gloves were up, just about blocked it. But punches are getting through. His pride keeps him fighting here, Dos Santos.
Howard Foster, the referee's having a good look there at Santos. Good referee, Foster. He won't allow this to go on if he keeps taking the shots that he is.
Yeah, we know from events in British boxing over the last couple of years, he'll stop a fight when he feels he needs to. But he is having a really intent look at Dos Santos just to make sure that he should still be in there. Again, those shots to the body are hurtful. He's taken some punishment here.
There's nothing coming back, Dave. That's the problem you got from Santos. He's trying to cover up and block the shots, but there's not a lot coming back from him.
Yeah, it's just the occasional single shot, isn't it? But these punishing combinations from Galahad are hurting him. Once it gets to round 12, you hope, as I'm sure you all do, that Dos Santos is allowed to continue. Tried to get to the end of the fight, but still by no means certain that that's going to happen, because Howard Foster will get him out of there if he needs to. Good work again from Galahad.
Oh, that hurt him there. That hurt Santos.
Just throughout the fight, you can see the feet getting slower, the legs getting heavier, the punishment taking its toll. Again, that little left to the body. Dos Santos trying to respond. Huge admiration for Dos Santos' bravery and toughness, but it just looked like he didn't know what was coming here tonight.
And you can see now why he's undefeated. Santos, tough kid. Just been totally outboxed here, though, Dave.
Final 20 seconds now of the penultimate round here at the Ponds Forge in Sheffield. Place where many of this city's boxing dreams have come true. Is it about to happen for this fella as well? I think it's going to happen tonight, that's for sure.
He's done well to get to this situation, the last round now of the contest.
Big deep breath, big deep breath. One more round, please. One more round. Listening.
It's a great position for Kid Galahad to be in, isn't it? In complete control of the fight, not much coming back. One more round, 3 more minutes.
It may have been difficult, Dave, wasn't it, to get himself motivated. He was going to go against Tyson Cave, WBA number 5 ranked contender. This fella's come in, he's got to have kept it together, and he has done.
Absolutely. All right, let's just pick them shots with him. Not taking your wrist, it's getting in that fat bum bang.
10 seconds, corners.
He's so good in the corner, Dominic Ingle. It's always concise, to the point. Gets it through to his fighter. A little bit of respect from him at the start of this final round. Can Galahad force a late stoppage here?
Yeah, interesting now, isn't it? Galahad will want a stoppage win, but Santos, he will want to see, or hear rather, the final bell. It's at the end of this one. So it'll be interesting to see how Galahad goes about his work in this last round. Does he go for it, or just does he see it out?
Again, he looked a bit unsteady as he moved away from that shot. Dos Santos. Yeah, as I said before, you want him to get to the end, but you don't want him to get hurt. And that's what Howard Foster is just intent on doing here at the end of a punishing 12 rounds. Combination again there from Galahad. Not all of his work has been picture perfect, Galahad, but a lot of it has. That's a great left uppercut.
Oh, what a shot that was. But it's the movement of the feet, the adjustment of the feet, which creates that little bit of a gap. Look at the distance he works at, adjusts the feet and brings his opponent onto punches. That's the impressive part of his boxing.
And that was impressive again there. And he is finishing in style here, Kid Galahad. And he is some story as well. What he's come from, expelled from school at the age of 14, turned pro at 19, as did Dos Santos. And now look at him, Kid Galahad. He's one of the superstars of this city. Proving himself on a world stage here. Final minute of what's surely going to be 18 wins from 18. I think it would need Christ the Redeemer to have a say now. Little left uppercut again from Kid Galahad.
He's worked very well also to the body with the jab. Simple shot. Just stops his man in his tracks there with that shot. But sensible boxing. Lovely, well-timed right hand again there. Just adjust the feet and bringing the opponent onto the shot. Good work.
Well, for the majority of the fight, Dos Santos has been bemused and confused and outclassed and outboxed and outthought. But he has got heart. And I hope he gets a really big ovation here. He deserves it. And he keeps fighting right until the end here. Kid Galahad's going to get a wide decision. Dos Santos stayed in the fight, was off his feet twice. But Kid Galahad takes another step to recognition there, Richie.
Yeah, punch-perfect display from Galahad. Very impressive indeed. And this fella's come in at fairly late notice, hasn't he? Santos, and let's give him credit, got to the end. It was a tough nut to crack, but this fella here had all the moves. The accuracy in his work was superb, and the power. So it's been a real decent workout for him, and yeah, he's ready for a top 10 rank contender, no doubt.
Yeah, you said it needed to be a win and an impressive one. Was it for you?
I think it was impressive. People, you know, will say, well, he should have forced a stoppage and they wanted to see a knockout. But some guys, you know, you just can't knock out, and that fella there, you've got to give him a lot of credit. At one stage I thought he was going to go, but he didn't. And for me, Galahad, it was an impressive display there. Against a featherweight, let's get it right. He's come down to super bantam, he's mainly a featherweight. That's not too bad at all.
Twice he was down. But Galahad couldn't finish him off, but he won comfortably. And the reading of the cards will be a formality. I'd be surprised if he's got anything out of this, Dos Santos. 2 10-8 rounds, it could be a really wide decision here. Question is, where next? Not for him, but for him.
And it's an exciting division, isn't it, for the British boxing fans. Scott Quigg, Carl Frampton, both world champions, and you have this fella hot on their heels. Let's hope Frampton and Quigg can get it on, and this fella fight the winner. That's what we'd want to see, Dave.
Absolutely. And there are many, many people who feel that he would give them both a proper fight and maybe even beat them both. Certainly this almost a feeling after the last couple of weeks that those two are miles in front and he's a distant third. I'm not sure that's right. But they're both world champions at the moment, and Kid Galahad isn't, and that is what he wants to put right. Now we're still waiting for Thomas Treiber, our MC, to just get those final cards, final results. Don't think there's going to be any horrors or surprises in there, though, Richie.
There'll be a riot if there is. But no, it's he's won every round, and as you say, a couple of those rounds are 10-8s. Quite clearly.
Yeah, well, the fighters are just about ready. And Thomas is just about ready too.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Serge Hendrese scores it 119 to 107. Judge Francesco Rega scores it 117 to 109. And Judge Dave Harris scores it 120 to 105. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now the IBF Youth World Junior Featherweight Champion from Sheffield, England, Kid Galahad.
Well, I'm sure many of you at home will wonder, as we do, how on earth can a judge score that 117, 109? I know it's still a large margin, but how could you do that?
Well, on my scorecard, I never even give Santos a round, and I don't think I was too far away there, to be quite honest.
Well, that's a sideshow. The main thing is Kid Galahad has taken a further step along the road. We've got Adam Etches to come. We'll hear from Kid as well. All of that after a short break.
Kid Galahad all the way here this evening, putting down Adeilson dos Santos twice in the very first round and in the 10th as well. And the man from Sheffield comfortably winning the IBF World Youth Junior Featherweight title. Another fight for Kid Galahad and yet another title, and he's ringside with Richie and myself. Congratulations, you put down a marker very early on, didn't you, and really controlled that fight the whole way through.
I had to with that kid. He was a dangerous opponent, young and defeated. He can punch. We couldn't let him settle, and just went in there and just took him apart from the get-go.
And he was very, very tough, wasn't it? I noticed you had a word with him. I'm sure that was a word of great respect. Whatever you do, you couldn't actually stop him. He was that tough.
He's the toughest. I can't believe how hard his head. Every time I hit his head, I think it was in the second round, I just hit my hand, and every time I hit him, just keep on getting shooting pains up my right hand, and he's the toughest kid I've boxed so far.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the round by round and talk us through it from your point of view, Kid. And particularly early on, as I said, you put down your marker and you put him down in the very first round.
Let's have a look. It was a straight left, right. Yeah, it was. It was bang on the button. Put him down nicely.
Barry, what impressed me about that is you feinted to the body with that jab, didn't you? And then you brought that right hand over the top. The accuracy and the power was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a Kell Book special shot, that one. I've been watching him in the gym, watching his last fight in America, and so some of them shots were just coming off, just obviously from watching Kell.
Was it difficult to stay motivated knowing that you was going to box Tyson Cave and then this fella comes in?
Yeah, I train every day. You can ask anyone. I am a gym rat. All I do is train. All my life is boxing. That's all I do. So it doesn't matter who you put in front of me. I'm ready to beat.
You stayed focused right the way through this contest as well, switching from southpaw to orthodox. But you found the gaps, didn't you, in the power, even on the ropes, centre of the ring. I thought it was a punch-perfect display tonight.
Yeah, it was a good display. I think I'd give myself an 8 out of 10. I think I did a couple of things bad, but I'm still learning.
He kept coming back. He was a real tough kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was unbelievably tough. Every time I caught him, he just come back and recover. Yeah, recovered just so quick.
Did you know anything about him? Did you see him on YouTube, anything like that?
Not really. I watched half a round maybe. Dominic watched him. I don't really watch kids. I just go in there and just whatever I've got to do, I just adjust.
That punch for me was the fight of the contest. Yeah. On the ropes, backing him up, and then you brought him onto that right hand.
Yeah, it's called a time counter. Fainted, wait for him to double that right hand and catch him with the right hand coming on.
Well, you mentioned Kell a few times. Kell, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your world title. What did you make of Kid this evening?
You know, I've told you before, he's my little brother. You know, and obviously him coming out to America and seeing what I've done. You know that it's been a hard road for me, but you know we got there in the end. He's always learning. He's always in the gym. And, he's winning like he's winning. He's up there now in the ratings, and he's not many fights away now from getting his own world title.
Well, we know how competitive it is, and obviously there are 2 British world champions already. How far away do you think Kid is from a world title shot itself?
I don't think he's far away. You know, he was sparring out there in Vegas with top fighters who fight at Redondo, and he would just he'd having fun in there, and they're world class fighters. So. He's got all the experience. He's seen it. Seeing us on the road, and he's been around us. He's learning. But the fact is, he listens. And you know, when he gets into that ring, you know, no one's as fit as him, no one is as sharp as him. He's a very good thinking fighter, you know, and he adapts when he needs to. So and he always finds a way. So you know, he's not too far away, you know, from having his hands on one himself, a world title.
Kel, I need to ask you, because everybody knows you went on holiday. You didn't quite have the holiday you wanted. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, I'm not needing my crutches now. I'm walking. It's just after 2 weeks on. You know, I'm a fast deal, I believe. You know, so. You know, one day at a time, but I believe that I'll be back in the gym, and early next year I'll be defending my world title.
So sometime next year you'll be back in the gym early New Year, and sometime next year your defence, you hope, if it all goes according to plan.
100%. I'll be back in the ring, you know, early next year, and defend that world title. Hopefully, you know, back in Sheffield.
That would be great. And Kid, you'd love a shot at a world title. Yeah. I mentioned Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg. It's so competitive. They're great British fighters in there. How far away do you think you are from a tilt?
Right now, we've already offered Scott Quigg the fight for this date. He doesn't want it. I don't think he'll ever fight me, because he knows. But Carl Frampton, this is to him. If he wants to defend that title, December the 6th, we've got a date, and I'll happily fight him on that date.
So you've got a date in mind, mid-December?
Yeah, December, and Carl Frampton wants the fight. We'll take the fight easily, happily.
Richie, is he ready?
I think he's ready, yeah. I was going to ask Dom. Dom, do you think he's ready?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that shot that put him down in when he pulled back on the ropes and came back with it, it was exactly nearly the same shot that Cole Frampton put Kiko Martinez, you know, away with in the first fight. You know, Barry's got the full bag of tricks. You know, he took him into the corner. You heard me shouting, "Don't be doing a Floyd Mayweather." He practices his moves. He's not only going in there and winning kids. He's going in there and practicing moves as well on them. You know, that's how confident he is. So, you know, like Kel says, he's seen, you know, Kel come all the way through. He's seen the blueprint. He does the training. He does work hard in the gym. And, you know, it's all right thinking you can knock this guy out, but you've got to hit him first. And, you know, in that fight, he might have got hit 3 times. You know, Cole Frampton can punch. He's not as good a boxer as Barry. And if you can't knock out what you can't hit.
They're confident.
Yeah, they're to the English School of Boxing.
Great to see you again. Thank you very much indeed. And of course, it's such a competitive division. We hope there are plenty more top-class fights, particularly maybe amongst British rivals to come. Still to come on Channel 5 this evening, another